Okay, so one of the first things that I want to tackle today when it comes to this particular Ubisoft topic is, check this out, guys. Ubisoft says $70 price tag will now be the norm for its big AAA games. Which is, let's just put it like this. Ubisoft, I just want you to understand something. Okay? The reason, because like the first ones to do this was PlayStation, right? PlayStation were the first ones that said, okay, our games need to cost $70 off the bat. Boom, done. That's the way that it's got to go. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? So Sony did this first, so you can go blame Sony and all of that, right? But think about the $70 video games that Sony is releasing. And I know that a lot of people are going to bring up, oh, Last of Us. Okay, so Last of Us is not the best example, okay? Let's just throw that out there. Last of Us is not the best example when it comes to value. But think of something, for instance, like Ghost of Tsushima. Think of Horizon Zero Dawn. Think of Spider-Man. Think of like all of these big first-party games that Sony is working on, right? These are games that when you launch them, at least from what I can remember having played most of those games, you launch these games and you're not instantly like, enter the PlayStation Store and buy the special skin, buy the special XP booster, buy the special materials booster. Yeah, God of War, Ragnarok, all of this stuff, right? Buy the special boost. No, the reason why, at least one of the reasons I would argue, is because they don't do any of that bullshit. Usually they do not have those types of microtransactions in their games. So in a way, it's like, I'm not saying that it's right to just like, okay, we're charging $70 for the games now. Because unlike a lot of people, I don't necessarily agree with this notion that like, oh, it's so much more expensive to develop video games now. I think there's a lot of nuance to that discussion, and it's not as linear as a lot of people say, because a lot of people like to jump into my comment section and just start mouthing off like, oh, it's way harder, it's way this, and it's way that. But the fact of the matter is the developers have more tools now than they've ever had before when it comes to developing video games. Not only that, but the potential reach for the audience that consumes video games is much larger. Like, you need to understand, this industry is currently bigger than the movie industry in Hollywood, all right? The video games industry is currently bigger than the movie industry. So when you're talking about potential reach, it is friggin' massive. And here's the interesting thing. The main reason why that reach might have diminished a little bit in the last couple of years, despite still being ridiculously massive, the main reason why it might have diminished is because a lot of publishers are poisoning the well. One of those publishers being, without a shadow of a doubt, Ubisoft. Don't even come at me. It's just that simple. Ubisoft's been poisoning the well, okay? You start playing a Ubisoft game, and like 30 minutes into playing the game, they're just like throwing bullshit microtransactions at your face. A fucking single player game, they'll just like, microtransaction, XP booster, materials booster, buy this skin, suck Yves Guillemot's dick. Like, it's just throwing shit at you nonstop, right? So it's pretty fucked up that out of all of the publishers that comes out and embraces the price tag that Sony has kind of established, it has to be fucking Ubisoft. I have no respect for this company. Understand this. I have no respect for this company whatsoever. Okay? Because they have pretty piss poor practices both in the office as well as outside of it when it comes to serving their customers. So this is a huge problem that I have. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that games should be $70. I'm saying that I'm much more willing to accept $70 games from Sony because Sony is not going to nickel and dime me, at least in the games that I've played, the first party exclusives, whereas Ubisoft fucking will. Which is why I have to say straight off the bat, I highly doubt there's anything you can say to justify the $70 price tag unless you straight up say, oh, we're doing this $70 price tag. We're not going to charge you any microtransactions. I guarantee you, because they're going to be talking about Skull and Bones in this article. Skull and Bones is going to have a fuckload of like coin doublers, XP boosters, material purchases, and all of this other fucking nonsense that was present in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I've played. I believe it was probably present in Valhalla as well. I decided not to play that, considering how piss poor they managed Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I figured like, hey, you guys are probably gonna fuck this one up too, so fuck you. Anyway, let's continue here. Ubisoft is following the footsteps of other major publishers by raising the price of some of its games to $70. As previously confirmed, publisher's first $70 release is the new gen console versions of this November's Skull and Bones, a game which won't be available for last gen systems. In an interview with Axios, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said this price point will now be the norm for the publisher's big PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS releases. In August 2022, Take-Two's NBA 2K21. See, this is another fucking scam. Isn't this the game that had like $200 of bullshit microtransactions? It was like filled to the brim with microtransactions, this piece of fucking trash. And on top of it, they charge you $70 for it? Stick this up your ass, Take-Two. More like Take-Two copies up your fucking ass. Like, what the fuck? Became the first current gen game to be priced at $70. Other companies followed suit, including Activision. Of course they did. Sony, EA, and Square Enix with the Final Fantasy publisher even bringing the increased price to some of its PC games. Ubisoft said last year that it was undecided about whether it would pursue new software pricing opportunities, but its stance has since shifted. Some of the games will come same price as the competition. The big AAA games will come at $70. Ubisoft's newly announced Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is billed as a smaller scale game than the recent series entries. It's priced at $50 for PS5. Oh, wow. Interesting. Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be cheaper ahead of its cross-gen release in 2023. Notably, Microsoft has yet to release the $70 games, though its first-party release lineup has been relatively bare since the Xbox Series XS PS5 launched November 2020. Gaming can be an expensive hobby, and I see certain platforms going to, in the US, pricing $70 for games. Xbox boss Phil Spencer told La Vanguardia last month. The consoles are $500 in US pricing, and I think that's a heavy investment for the people who aren't every day playing video games, kind of the more casual player or family that's balancing many things. Yeah, dude, I don't think that the Ubisoft should be the ones to fucking do this. Activision doesn't deserve it either. Activision is just as bad. Activision wants to sell you shit for $70 while still charging you for a bunch of fucking bullshit battle pass nonsense and also heavily monetizing every aspect of the game. You want to sell your games for more expensive, then go for it, but cut out this fucking nonsense monetization scam that you got going on these fucking games. Just cut it out. Just fucking cut it out. These people are full of shit, dude. Rurikhan, but what game do we want to play from Ubisoft? See, that's the question. Who really wants to play games from Ubisoft anyways? So yeah, get your fucking $70. The worst part is there's going to be a lot of like, Ubisoft does have hardcore fans that will defend this bullshit. They'll be like, oh, but it's a quality game. It's going to be so good. It's going to be amazing. And then they're going to get fucked in the ass the moment they buy the game. They're going to have the early access deluxe nonsense, which is probably going to be escalating to $90 because previously the base game versions would be like $60. The deluxe editions would be $80. And then like the collector's edition would be like 100, 200, 300, depending on how much bullshit they pack together with the game, right? Now, the situation here is going to be the base game is going to go to 70, the deluxe version is going to go to 90, and you know that with those deluxe versions, it is going to include something in the veins of like 3 to 5 days of early access to the single player game, because that's what they always do. That's what they always fucking do, which is ridiculous. Pan the man, so do we boycott AAA games? No, you boycott games that deserve to be boycotted. And even then, I'm not calling for anyone to boycott anything. You do whatever the hell you want. But I'm just pointing out the fact that Ubisoft should be one of the last publishers to fucking try and sell people on $70 video games. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And then we also have another one here. Ubisoft finally realizes everyone hates NFTs, says it's just researching, honest. When we have something that gives you a real benefit, we'll bring it to you. Yves Guillemot, Ubisoft's long-reigning CEO, has spoken about the company's future plans for blockchain integration in its games, its history with blockchain tech, and the communications blunders the company has made around the topic in the past. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Guillemot made several comments that suggest Ubisoft's love affair with NFTs has reached a cooling-off period. Ubisoft is looking at all the Web3 capabilities in order to find out if they're really the answer to the player's needs before pressing ahead with them, said Guillemot. I feel like I can tell you the answer to that one right now, Yves. Yeah, bro, listen, do you guys remember when there was this Ubisoft asshole that came out of nowhere with like an interview saying, oh, gamers just don't understand the benefit of blockchain. Like, pretty much implying gamers are too fucking stupid to understand the benefits. That's always the talking points of all of these NFT fucking crypto bros. They always come out of the woodwork going like, oh, gamers dumb. They don't understand the benefits of blockchain. And then when they start talking about, just imagine all of these things that you can do. Like, listen, you can literally buy an item on the blockchain, right? You can have an item in the blockchain and then you can give it to your friend and then your friend has the item. And it's like, you dumb motherfucker. I swear to fucking God, dude. You understand I can log into Final Fantasy 14 right now and give my friend an item and I don't need to go to the fucking blockchain for that, you absolute mentally challenged individual. Like, I swear these fucking NFT crypto bros make me fucking sick. But the best one is when they start coming up with the idea that like, yeah, bro, just imagine though, you own this item in World of Warcraft, right? Like, you pick up the Windseeker, Blessed Thunder Fury, the Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, right? You get that, and that's an NFT, and then you bring it over to Final Fantasy 14. Wouldn't that be amazing? And then you have to actually fucking slap them across the face like the complete mongrel they are and explain to them, that's not how video games work, you fucking imbecile. You're so fucking stupid, they haven't come up with a low enough number to fucking classify your IQ. You absolute idiot. Oh man, just imagine, man, because it's in the blockchain, man. I'll put you in the fucking blockchain, you idiot. Jesus fucking Christ. It's always the same talking points, too, dude. Always the same talking points. Anyway. It all adds up to Ubisoft still being in research mode on NFTs and games. Yeah, except you sent the other dude out to call us all idiots. And then when people didn't like that, now you're like, oh, we're just looking at it. And it's a far cry from the company's previous bullishness on blockchain integration in video games. Yeah, tell that to the president of Square Enix, too. Let him, like, hey, maybe lay off the fucking blockchain, bro. It's like, it's fucking with your brain at this point. The company defied negative responses from the public and its employees alike to press ahead with its plans to develop play-to-earn games that made heavy use of blockchain technology. Those projects bore some fruit. Ubisoft's Quartz platform, which lets you pick up little NFT-ified hats for your Ghost Recon character before Ubisoft shuttered the shop in April. Hey, whatever happened to the whole thing about, oh, but we'll get the hats in Ghost Recon and then we'll be able to use it into the Division. Like, this is even an example that would be two Ubisoft games that could potentially both be in the same engine. I'm not sure if Ghost Recon is in the same engine as Division 2, but that could be the Snowdrop engine, whatever, right? That could be a good case study to actually try to make that point. But even then, Ubisoft shut that shit down. They're probably like, nah, bro, it's too much work. Fuck them. But it looks like the company has finally realized there isn't the silent majority of consumers with a burning passion for artificial scarcity. Yeah, because artificial scarcity is a stupid fucking concept for brainlets. Less than a year after Ubisoft VP Nicolas Pouard said players don't... Yeah, here it is. Nicolas Pouard said players don't get the myriad wonders that NFTs can offer. Guillemot has admitted that the company might have messed up its messaging a bit. Yeah, you don't say. You're surprised that people don't want to be called fucking brainlets by your company? Oh no. Ubisoft was not good at saying we are researching. He told, yeah, right, adding that the company should have said we're working on it, and when we have something that gives you real benefit, we'll bring it to you. Better late than never, I suppose. Ubisoft has faced no end of censure and more than a little ridicule for its big talk on NFTs, to the dubious benefits the tech has for players and the environmental costs of running proof-of-work blockchain systems. To his credit, Guillemot emphasized that Ubisoft's research is focusing on less disastrous proof-of-stake tech. The company's dauntless advocacy of the technology has been at times surreal. It appears the message is finally broken through, through their fucking thick skulls. Though at least temporary, let's hope Ubisoft remains quieter research mode for some time to come. I hope they would just remain quieter, period. Just like, shut the fuck up, because every time you motherfuckers speak, all you say is fucking nonsense and bullshit. Fucking worthless company. Jesus Christ. I see this as an absolute win.